Hi there. Welcome to Flow into Authenticity. My name's Esther, artist and creative coach. My hope is that through these videos, you'll be able to connect more to your creative flow, move through any blocks that are holding you back, and really begin to create from your true authentic self. Please remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content so you can get anything new and fresh that comes out when I put it out. Thanks so much for being here. Hey there. I wanted to do a quick little video about how you can go from being stuck or feeling really confused. Maybe you are struggling with depression or anxiety. How can you get from that place of what I call like the mind loop, where your mind is just, so feeling so stuck, to clarity and being able to create from a place of clarity and flow, right? So I'm always talking about wanting to get into flow. So I had an experience today, which got me really excited about this whole thing again, which was me going from this morning, waking up feeling, I had had a migraine at night. So my body wasn't feeling good. My mind was feeling depressed, anxious, all the things. And I had a long list of things that I needed to do. So going from that to how I went from that to being clear and being able to be ready and excited and in flow. So I like to talk about this a lot, where we have two networks in our brain. So one of them is a very focused, when you're in that kind of productive work where you're very focused, you're maybe ticking off your to-dos, you're sending emails, all those kind of logical, analytical things. So that's one network. And I like to call it open mode, or you can closed mode, where your mind is just kind of closed. It's critical, analytical thinking. And then also we have this default mode. And so I know I talk about this a lot, but this is kind of key to everything that I teach. So default mode is when you get into where you're able to see like the bigger picture, right? Where you're able to access maybe more of your brain, more of your senses of your body, and able to see, you begin to see more. If you do it right, you can begin to see more clearly the entire picture. So that is called our default mode. And if you think about like daydreaming or walking or being in the shower and getting those aha moments where you have this kind of clarity. So I'm going to talk about how today I went from confusion to clarity. So I woke up feeling very frustrated, very like not wanting to do all the things that I had to do. And a lot of people will tell you just push on through, just do it. That's fine sometimes, but for me it just doesn't work. And because if I push myself, I get more drained. If I get more in that analytical mind loop, right? So I was feeling very stuck, having a lot of anxiety, having a lot of kind of depressive thoughts. So I knew that I didn't want to create from a place like that. I want to create from an expansive, and a lot of people call it like aligned. When people are saying, I want to create from an aligned place, to me that means I'm in open mode. I'm aligned with, I'm connected to my intuition in that open mode. So I'm not in this mind loop, right? So I went, okay, check in. I have all these things to do. Fact. Number 2, do I want to hustle and push through and create from a place of frustration, which usually causes me to not get as much done, not to be as productive, not to be as focused, and to feel really crappy? No. Fact. I do not want to do that. So 3, question, what can I do to get myself into open mode? What can I do right now? So for me, luckily this week, a lot of my clients rescheduled, and my intuition actually has been telling me to rest a lot this week. So I have some free time in addition to all the things I need to do. But my intuition just, when I checked in, I just kept hearing like, go to the park. And my mind was like, no, God, I gotta get all this stuff done, but I just kept hearing it. So the park is the place, the beach, you might have seen it in my stories. It's the place where I can go to get into open mode and to be able to think clearly. So I was like, okay, no matter what my mind is telling me right now, that I don't have time, whatever it is, I shouldn't do that, I'm gonna go because I'm feeling it so strongly. And so I went, and immediately, I got clarity. My mind opened up. So part of the reason why getting into nature is great is because you can see the expanse of what's there, and it gets you into that open mode. And I will just sit there and contemplate. I also did a little bit of a run. So I was listening to my intuition, connecting to more of my brain, more of myself than was just in that mind loop of what the thoughts were that were spinning around in my house. So, I have noted, especially in the COVID time, that for me, so we want to make sure to take note of what works for you to get out of that mode. So for me, going to the park, it's not a waste of time because when I get back, I am going to be so much more in flow, and I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to be excited to email those people. Number two, what I know and what I've really been feeling is that I need to get physical. I need to really move my body and get out of the house to move my body. And so I got this little clue. So when you go and you follow these kind of nudges to get out of the mind loop, what's the best way for you right now? So then it leads to the next thing. So my intuition told me, okay, go to the gym, because it just kept coming up for me. I need to join a gym. I actually personally love gyms. The bigger the gym, the better, which just sounds weird for me because I'm such a nature person, but I love gyms. There's a whole story behind it. I really miss being physical, the weights, the running, all that stuff. And I think that I need it for my creativity. So if you've been following me, you know that my framework, it's kind of like it's kind of like a funnel. So before we can get into flow, before we can get into creating, we have to have self-care, taking care of our body, taking care of our mind, being in a safe place, trusting ourselves. That's all at the top of this little funnel, and it has to happen first. So that's what I'm talking about. We get in this mode of we have to do all these things, but actually, I just want to tell you, the best of your creativity comes when you take care of yourself, when you know what gets you into flow, when you know what gets you out of your mind loop. So for me, my intuition was go to the gym. And so I went to the gym and I loved it. I was like, okay, I'm down. This feels really aligned for me. And Julian, hey Julian, the manager that was taking me on the tour, told me that was the last day of their discounted rate. So I got all these discounts, and then he was really excited. He's so sweet. He was really excited about, I was telling him what I do, and he invited me to maybe showcase my art at the end of next month, maybe, and share my art and my coaching, what I want to do with the members. So all of these things sort of flowed in this beautiful cascade, which I have found happens when you follow your intuition. I kind of call that flow, right? Your one thing is leading to the next thing. I couldn't have experienced those things if I had stayed at home, if I had just, I would have been in this loop of like pushing myself to do the things I need to do, but like not wanting to do them in this consistent loop of like, it feels to me like hustle. Granted, okay, so now I'm back. I even feel good enough to create this video, which is amazing. I'm excited to work and email all those people I need to email back. Can we always just take off and go to the park? No. But what I'd like you to do is to sit down right now and make a list. Make a list of what lights you up, what gets you into flow. So what gets you out of the mind loop, right? When you're in maybe, for me, it's really depression, anxiety, thoughts. What gets you out of that? Maybe it's taking a walk. You can afford to take a 5-minute walk. Maybe it's even going to the store. I don't know what it is for you, taking a shower, whatever it is. For me, it's, going to nature, getting that exercise. I'm thinking that is so, so important for me. So just make a list right now or do some free writing about what it is that really gets you into that open mode. So then you come back, right? You're more connected to your entire brain, to your subconscious, to your intuition. That's where the motivation lies. So I really have a problem. I know that just everyone always says, to create, you don't need motivation. You just need to do it. I just think that's such bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. I hate that it just rubs me so the wrong way, because why aren't you motivated? Like, there's different types of motivation. Yes, we need to do the work, but like, I don't want to create from a place of like pushing myself and feeling like I'm just my own worst boss, right? I want to create from a place of like excitement and being energized and loving what I do, loving the people that I work with. So that's me. I've tried the other way of like not needing motivation. Motivation is just such a weird term. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But I've tried the other way of pushing and forcing myself. And sometimes we have to. We have to have grit and do. This is a long kind of other conversation about how we stay motivated. But I just wanted to send this little note out to you all and just say, like, just consider how to get into flow more often in your life. How can you get from confusion, from that mind loop, depression, anxiety, frustration with your work, to seeing the bigger picture, right? Fully embodying yourself and getting connected to yourself, connected to your intuition. Just write down the things that do that for you, and keep them in your back pocket. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.